The novelist tries ever so hard. Zarastro's going further in front. Snippets is all over. Zarastro, too good for them. 2.5.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop, episode 391, proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. As always, the Queensland Carnival hits Doomben this Saturday, and we'll shortly preview our 11 runners that have accepted for the weekend. Tony, good morning. The feature for this Saturday is the Group 1 10,000, a race very close to your heart, with Spirit of Boom winning it in 2014, and his brother also being there for the Quinella as well. So a big day, the 10,000 day.
Yeah, good morning, Matt. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, one of my favourite days, 10,000 day. Well, for various reasons, obviously for the two boys, you know, my two flagship horses, Quinella-ing it, but also I think it's just a cool day. We go to a track like Doomben, which you always get a good feel for this speed race. Always get a good feel to wait for age horses, always sharp horses in it, and you know, often a really good sprinter wins it. I remember Redzo winning it, going on and winning the first edition. I think it was the first edition of the Everest after he won it. So it's a really good horses race, the 10,000, and it'll be no different this year. Obviously the weather, which we'll touch on later, will most likely play its part, but we've got another good field of sprinters.
And just reflecting on last week, last Saturday we were down at the Gold Coast for Hollandale Stakes Day. It was a great day's racing overall. A tough day for the stable. We did land a nice winner early with Daggers. How do you think those blinkers going on and seeing him get the job done there?
Yeah, he was good. I think getting out to his trip was good too. You know, the blinkers, you know, possibly helped him, but definitely getting out to the 1400, just being able to roll at his high cruising speed and kicking off, it really suited him at that trip. He's bounced through the run like he hasn't raced, so he really enjoyed that day out. For me, the pleasing thing of the Gold Coast last week was how well the track played. I played really well. Possibly that inside down 3 metres as the day sort of went on, particularly after Daggers was the only horse to win on the fence all day. It definitely played that little bit off, which we didn't read that well enough, I don't think, probably for now as the Aaron race too. But overall, the track played well. We weren't seeing that track cutting out like we've seen in previous times. So hats off to the team down there. They got that track under control, and I hope it stays that way because it played really well. And it was hard to argue that, you know, that it was a really good day's racing, and you know, most horses got their chance.
And just before we get stuck into our preview, just a reminder, Sunday week, the 24th of May, is our open day here at the Eagle Farm Stables from 9:30 in the morning till 11 o'clock. If you would like to attend, please RSVP in to the stables@gollanracing.com.au email address. But also, if you do, as Tony mentioned last week, if you do wake up on the morning and feel like coming down, please more than welcome to as well. And there's a few prizes that will be announced and spread around throughout the day as well, Tony. So
yeah,
it should be a good day.
It will be, mate. It'll be a good morning, mid-morning type situation. There'll be sausage sizzle on, there'll be coffees. We all sorts of stuff here. You get to see a few of the stable stars from yesteryear, and you'll also see a few yearlings. We'll see all how we go around our mornings here at the stable, detail how our days sort of go about here at Eagle Farm. For the guys that do RSVP, there are some good prizes to be won between the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group, Brisbane Racing Club, I think Ladbrokes. There's a few prizes on offer for everyone who does RSVP in and turns up on the day.
Now we'll get stuck into our preview of Doomben 10,000 Day this Saturday. The rail is in the true position. Track is currently a soft 7 with a shower or 2 forecast for the remainder of the week. You can see we're getting the sun and the rain this morning. So Tony, how do you think that track is going to play? It's hard to tell with the weather.
Yeah, it is, mate. I'd love to see more sun, less rain. It'll be, I think even if it stops right as the minute we do this, which is the morning of Thursday, I still think we're going to be looking at a soft track at best. It all depends on what happens in the next sort of 24 hours, I think. Obviously this time of the year the drying conditions are not there what we had a couple of months ago, so I'll be working on a genuine soft to heavy, unfortunately.
Now we'll kick off the preview in race 3. It is a 3-year-old plate over 1,350 metres. We'll have 3 runners in this race. First of those we'll preview is He's True Blue. We'll carry 57 kilos. Ben Thompson on board, and unfortunately drawn barrier 15. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $23 for the win and $5 for the place. He's third up for us on Saturday. Unlucky last start for a really good third. Arguably could have been in the finish there. We'll need a bit of luck from the draw, but Benny knows him well.
Yeah, he does, and he handled the ground pretty well. It was pretty well heavy that day, so he handled the ground quite nicely. He got through the ground good. The barrier is the problem, isn't it? He's going to be back in the second half of the field, but he's in good order, the horse. Really, really good shape. It's just a shame for the barrier.
The next horse we'll preview is Lockyer. Will carry 57 kilos with Mark Zara to ride and drawn barrier 12. Early odds of Ladbrokes are $61 for the win, $12 for the place. He's first up for his winter preparation after being gelded over his spell. Had a nice couple of trials to get him ready for this race. How do you think it sets up for him? Tricky from the draw again.
Tricky from the draw, and soft to heavy. Probably wouldn't be where I'd like to kick him off first off. So we might see him left for another day.
And the third of our runners we'll preview is Power Reece. Will carry 55 kilos, Daniel Moore on board and drawn barrier 13. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $101 to win and $19 for the place. Forgive her run first up, just copped a lot of interference throughout in running. Tough draw here again, but she was doing her best work late last start. How do you think she's improved from her first up run?
Oh, she's got into an awkward spot. I think she shouldn't be 100 to 1. It's hard. They're not well in at the weights, the set weights, some of these horses, and she's not. But we know she improves into a prep, and she's a go-forward sort of horse. And it all just depends on the conditions for her, how wet she does like it. But she is way over the odds out of that bunch. Yeah, I'd have her in for exotics. I think she rolls up and either sits outside lead or leads, and she can run really well. I'd be very forgiving of the first up run. So on top would be He's True Blue, but he's just drawn terrible, terrible again.
Yeah, so tricky race to read. We'll move on to race 4. It is the Group 2 Spirit of Boom Classic for 2-year-olds over 1,200 metres. We'll have 2 runners in this race. First of those we'll preview is Boomtowns, our little friend to our left-hand side here this morning. We'll carry 57 kilos with Zach Purton to ride and drawn barrier 4. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $12 for the win and $3.40 for the place. He won on debut last preparation, kicked off his campaign this preparation, first up in the Dalrello. Just didn't enjoy that heavy going, I don't think. Good draw here, and hopefully we get some better ground for him.
Yeah, I'm hoping if we get just genuine soft, and be mindful this is a different wet track to what we get at Eagle Farm as well. And particularly that rain, with a lot of rain right in the morning of that meeting, made it messy. He ran into a good one that day. I think this is a better race for me. 1,200 is really suitable for him. He's a massive improver. He's going to get a beautiful run. He's just going to lob in that second pair. He's going to get a really good run. He can run really well. I just hope he can get through the ground.
And the second horse we'll preview for this race is Martist. Will carry 57 kilos, Mark Zara to ride and drawn barrier 14. He's on our right-hand side here this morning. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $10 for the win and $3 for the place. He's also a city debut winner last preparation. He's kicking off his winter campaign this Saturday after a nice couple of trials, but tricky from the draw.
He's a nice horse. I think he'll stretch out towards the mile with him. I really like this horse. He's a very nice horse, but he'll probably a little bit conservative, I'd say, from the draw where we're at now. I'd like to go right through to the JJ with him, so we need to be a touch conservative, find our spot and be running on. He's going really well. He'll handle the wet ground. We just need a bit of luck in running.
And we'll move on to race 5. It is the listed Burnborough handicap over 1,600 metres. We'll have up to the 2 runners in this race. First of those we'll preview is Kronenbourg. Last start winner will carry 57.5 kilos with Mark Zara on board and drawn barrier 8. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $18 for the win, $5 for the place. The blinkers tongue-tie work did the trick last time, last start, getting the job done in the listed Brisbane handicap over a mile. Likes his track and trip, but he's copped a bit of a penalty ratings-wise after that win. But how do you think it sets up for him from that draw?
I don't know if it's so much a penalty ratings-wise. I think it's more like, obviously Antino was in that race. He can press the weight scale down. So he's getting up carrying probably what he should be. He's going really well, the horse, and he handled the heavy, which is important. He's a go-forward horse on a wet track. He's fit. He's better third up than what he was second up. So he's a big improver. The gear changes did the trick for him well, and Zara on board won't make any mistakes on him. He rolls up. He's either going to sit outside lead of Bjorn Baker's, or I'll just cross it. He's go forward horse. He's a horse they'll have to run down. He's in good form, this horse. He's really come on for that win. I know he's 100 to 1. It's very hard to back him the next start when they're 20 to 1, but he has definitely improved.
And the second horse we'll preview for this race is Rising Pacific. Will carry 54.5 kilos. Daniel Moore on board and unfortunately drawn barrier 18. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $21 for the win, $5.50 for the place. Second up after a very good first up performance over 13.50. Space between runs. He's been back to the trials since. He's got a really good record second up and at this trip, but tricky with the soft or wet conditions.
Bad gate, hates the wet. That's why it rains. When this horse is in, it just rains. So he's the rainmaker, this bloke. I should take him out to where the farmers need the rain and nominate him out there, because their paddocks would be fine. So he's unfortunate for him, but he doesn't like the wet. He doesn't need bad gates, no help to him. So I could not see him troubling the scorer.
We'll move on to race 6. It is a listed Bright Shadow for fillies and mares over 1,110 metres. Race we've been lucky enough to win previously in the past with Outback Barbie and Cariad. We'll have up to 3 chances in this year's edition. First of those we'll touch on is Liquor. We'll carry 56.5 kilos with Mark Zara on board. Drawn barrier 19. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $21 for the win, $5.50 for the place. Good effort. First up in the listed Ascot Handicap. She had a nice tick over trial since. Really good second up record, but just really tough in that draw.
The draw is tough. She handles the soft, no worries. A good soft track record, but it's just the heavy. So if it was heavy, she wouldn't run. I'm not even sure I'll run her off that draw. It's pretty tough. There's a lot of speed in this. It's a very competitive mares race. You can tell this carnival is a very strong carnival for these mares. A lot of these might be heading off to the Broodmare sale in a couple of weeks at the Gold Coast, etc., or they're making their way through that mare's preparation. There's a lot of speed engaged in this, and that draw makes it quite tricky. So we could see her scratched and going around next week in the Chief De Beers.
The second runner we'll preview is Give Giggles. We'll carry 53.5 kilos with Ben Thompson to ride and drawn barrier 2. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $7.50 for the win, $2.70 for the place. She was a really good win first up at Doomben over 1,000 metres at benchmark 85. Gets a chance to get some black type here with a nice lightweight and a really good draw as well.
And loves the wet. Absolutely loves the wet. Going to get a lovely run on the back of them, which will be good speed and being strong to the line. The only negative, she's better at Eagle Farm than she is at Doomben, but she's certainly there to run well. She's in really good shape.
And the third of our runners we'll preview is Savagery Vibe. We'll carry 53 kilos with Daniel Moore on board and drawn barrier 4. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $8 for the win, $2.80 for the place. She's just such a consistent mare, hasn't missed a place this for her 7 starts this preparation. Really good win last start over 1,200 metres, so she's earned her chance at this black type grade. She's up in grade, down in weight, drops in trip, and the winker's on as well. How do you think it sets up for her?
The winker's on and the wet helps her. The low draw is a massive, massive plus. Back to 1,100 is my query, but they're going to go quick enough. You know, if they're coming back at all, she's going to savage the line good. Those 2 mares have really good chances in this race. I'd give Giggles on top. I think she's just a sharper horse at the shorter trip, but you could make a case for both those 2 in what's a really good open mares race.
And we'll move on to race 8. It is the Group 1 Doomben 10,000. Over 1,200 metres, as we touched on earlier. Lucky enough to win this race previously with Spirit of Boom. We'll have Zarastro in this year's edition. Drawn barrier 5 with Daniel Moore on board, and we'll carry 58.5 kilos. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $35 for the win, $7.50 for the place. He's another one that will be dictated to by the weather gods. But look, it was really good in a trial late last week. He put them away well. How do you think it sets up for him if he does go around?
Sets up great for him, the race. We just need the track to be good. He can handle soft ground, and he looks to get the right run. I don't see... Last year's 10,000, there was a stack of speed in it. This year's one doesn't look to be as much. So he's a fast horse. He's really in good order. He's a horse that comes to hand great at this time of year. That was evident by his run in the Kingsford Smith last year. So I certainly don't want to waste a run on him. We need the right ground. But if we get, like soft ground, that's fine for him, and he can run really, really well here. But he just needs the weather gods to help him. We need this sun that's coming out now to stay, not go away, and the rain can come back Sunday. So if this happens, the track can be okay for him, and he can run huge. This horse, really, really good, but he needs that track to be soft or better.
And now, Tony, we are into the final furlong of the Final Gallop on Doomben 10,000 Day. Who was your best winning chance there at Doomben on Saturday?
It's tricky because of the weather, Matt, this weekend. So I'm going to go with Give Giggles. I think she can handle the rain-affected ground good. She's got the low draw. She maps to park on the back of the good speed, similar to what we saw when she won here the other day. Yeah, she's up in grade, but she's always been destined for this grade. So for me, it's Give Giggles.
And a best each way chance. I've got a few each way value across the day. Best for the day.
It's tricky because it'd probably be Savagery Vibe in the same race, so they're very similar in the market. They're probably the 2. If I went away from that, I think Boomtowns, depending on how wet the track goes, I think he just maps to get such a good run in the 2-year-old race. And his run was pretty good the other day, running 5th after doing a bit wrong. And Purton's a good booking. He'll lob into a lovely spot and he'll race well at 1,200. So I'll probably go Boomtowns. But for me, this meeting's up in the air. I do think the weather we've had this week, unless this sun can stay out, we're going to be looking for horses that can really handle that wet ground.
And just on the provincials, it is a bit tricky again with the weather as we've touched on. We've got horses possibly going to the Gold Coast, Lismore, and then Sunny Coast on Sunday. Anything you can give to the punters?
Probably can't, guys. So we got these polytrack meetings on as well as Thingo, but I'm probably thinking if we run down there, I'm probably looking for a horse at the Gold Coast in my major play. I'd imagine we look something like Seeker with blinkers on. She was a bit of a train wreck the other night at Toowoomba. I think she's worked very sharp in the shades. She can handle wet ground. I don't think Polly would bother her. So maybe Seeker and a maiden, pretty moderate sort of races down there. So maybe her, but the weekend's a bit up in the air. We don't really know what tracks or surfaces we're going to get yet, unfortunately.
And then just to touch on track work this week, obviously a little bit wet and sodden Tuesday and Wednesday. Just ticked them all over. Anything stand out for you through the binos in track work this week?
Mate, we had a pretty wet sort of morning, pretty ordinary week, but I think Zarastro's going very, very well. I'm really happy with him, the way he's moving, the way he's working. So for me, him, Transatlantic went out of galloping company on the course proper Tuesday at Doomben. I thought he was ticking over nicely. With a bit of luck, we'll get a trial into him next week. If we don't, it's not the end of the world. We head to Kingston Smith with him, so I'm really happy with him and his build up towards the Stradbroke.
And now it is time to head over to Cav's Corner for this week, proudly supported by Brisbane Airport Hotels Group as always. His multi was looking good last week, ticked off his first leg with Boo Melly running a drum for third, and then hit him well all the way, but pretty much the last 20 or 30 metres just couldn't get over the line for Cav. So unfortunately the weight of Cav held him back there. But look, let's head over to Cav's Corner for this week, see what his multi is and see if we can get some money for the punters.
Welcome to Cav's Corner. Touch unlucky last week. This week we'll venture to Doomben. We'll go Martist a place and to give Giggles a place. Good punting, guys.
So Tony, Cav has gone Martist a place and to give Giggles a place. What are your thoughts on his little place multi for the weekend?
Yeah, look, I don't not like it. It just depends on how far we get back with Martist from that draw, but both will get through the ground. He's gone for the soft trackers, and I think he's on the money there. He's got they're the sort of horses you want to look at. Horse with that really good exposed, soft to heavy form, depending on what track we get.
And good luck to Tony for this Saturday, first Group 1 of the Carnival. Exciting times ahead. We're well and truly into the Winter Carnival. Hopefully we can send Zarastro around. He can give the punters something to cheer. But look, hopefully this sun can stick around as well for us all.
Yeah, hopefully we can. It's a big weekend in Brisbane. We've got Magic around with the footy.
Yes, of course.
We've got Magic around with the footy. We've got 10,000 day here. So there's a lot happening in Brisbane. If you're not interested in going to watch all the games, get over here to Doomben. It's a great day out, 10,000 day. It is our real Group 1 kick-off for the Carnival. It's a fantastic day's racing. There's a lot of nice horses on display. So enjoy the footy and enjoy the racing this weekend.
Good luck, punters. Cheers.